going to be reviewing the K&N cold air intake kit for the Pontiac G8 V6. Now, at a price tag of $331, that is kind of high for just a 10 horsepower gain to the rear wheels. Now, it's to the rear wheels, so it's not too bad, but the price tag is. Luckily, I got mine on sale from Summit Racing, and I got it probably $100 cheaper, so that wasn't too bad for me. Plus the lack of other bolt-ons that are available for this car, well, you have a few options to choose from. Now overall, it does clear up the space under the hood. It looks amazing under there, really. The pictures that you see when you order one, it doesn't look so good, but actually on the car it does look fairly good. Now, some people are always afraid of the sound that cold air intake makes. Well, this one's, it sounds a little bit more aggressive. You can kind of hear it a little bit more. You can hear the engine breathe a little bit more, but it's not overwhelming. And I have some footage before and after, so y'all can hear the difference. Particular engine, there is a bit of a whistle, and if you listen closely, you can hear the whistle even before the K&N was installed, and I believe that is actually from the intake manifold insulator that I have installed, because that's when it started making that slight little whistle. Other than that, you can hear for yourself. It does sound just a hair bit more aggressive. You can hear it a little bit better, but it's not going to change the tone too much of the car. Now, as far as the drivability, the thing accelerates much better. And even though the gains are mostly on the top end of the RPM scale, around town during acceleration it does feel a little bit peppier. So there's that bonus as well. So the drivability and passing someone on the highway a lot easier, and going up hills it's a lot easier as well. Now for miles per gallons, well, I did a trip before with the manifold insulator, and I believe it was averaged 27.8 at the high for the highway, and it's a hour and a half, a little over an hour and a half on the highway one way, and then back, and then there's quite a bit of in-town driving, and the average was 23.4 with the in-town as well. Now with the K&N, the highway went to 27.4, so I lost just a little bit under a half a mile per gallon on the highway, but the average was a little bit higher at 24.2. So with the in-town, the average, it does seem to do better in town on fuel economy, or at least my car does, and that could have a lot to do with driving habits as well. So there is that involved too. Between the two trips there was a little bit of temperature difference, and not a whole lot, probably 10-15 degrees. Not sure how much that would affect it, but just from a standpoint of the trip itself, said the highway decreased a little bit, but less than half a mile per gallon. Well, that could just be a little bit of driver. So it's not really too much of a difference there. And the average with the in-town, it was slightly higher. And like I said, it does seem to accelerate and take off a little bit quicker in town and driving around town speed limits. I'm not having to use a pedal as much, so there is that. So overall, I'm actually enjoying the K&N. Yeah, I got it cheaper than the normal listed price, which is good. Finding one used, you don't see very much at all for these cars, so buying it new was my only option. Now, if I could find one used for around $100, that would have been perfect, but you know, it is what it is sometimes when looking for parts. Drivability is good. It looks better under the hood to me. I like the look and appearance. The sound and the feels a little bit better too. And with the lack of other bolt-ons, well, you don't have a whole lot of choice to do. But there's a review. I'll let the audio speak for itself for you. And like I said, on the fuel economy, that's from my experience. Wasn't a whole lot of difference. Gained one way, lost another way. That could be my driving, but it wasn't a big noticeable difference, which can be a good thing. Adding power without using a lot more gas is never a bad thing. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, thanks for watching.